Encyclopedia. Joseph Estrada. Joseph Erap Ejercito Estrada, born April 19, 1937, is a Filipino politician who served as the 13th President of the Philippines from 1998 to 2001 and as the 9th Vice President of the Philippines from 1992 to 1998. He has been mayor of the City of Manila, the country's capital, since 2013. Estrada gained popularity as a film actor, playing the lead role in over 100 films in an acting career spanning some 3 decades, and model, who was started as a fashion and ramp model at the age of 13. He used his popularity as an actor to make gains in politics, serving as mayor of San Juan from 1969 to 1986, as senator from 1987 to 1992, then as vice president under President Fidel V. Ramos from 1992 to 1998. Estrada was elected president in 1998 with a wide margin of votes separating him from the other challengers, and was sworn into the presidency on June 30, 1998. In 2000 he declared an all-out war against the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and captured its headquarters and other camps. However, allegations of corruption spawned an impeachment trial in the Senate, and in 2001 Estrada was ousted by People Power 2 inches after the prosecution walked out of the impeachment court when the senator judges voted no in the opening of the second envelope. In 2007, Estrada was sentenced by the Special Division of the Sandigan into reclusion perpetua for the plunder of stealing $80 million from the government and was sentenced to a lifetime in prison, but was later granted pardon by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. He ran for president again in the 2010 presidential election, but placed second behind Senator Benigno Aquino III. Early life and career. Jose Marcelo Ejercito Sr. was born at 8:25 p.m. on April 19, 1937 at Manugat Maternity Hospital, now known as Amasola Maternity Hospital, in Tondo, an urban district of Manila. His family later moved to the wealthy suburb of San Juan. He belonged to an upper-middle-class family, and was the 8th of 10 children of Emilio Ejercito Sr. and his wife, Maria Marcelo. He was expelled during his primary studies at the Ateneo de Manila University and subsequently enrolled in an civil engineering course at the Mabui Institute of Technology in an effort to please his father, and later transferred to Central Colleges of the Philippines but dropped out. In his 20s, he began a career as a drama actor. He adopted the stage name Joseph Estrada, as his mother objected to his chosen career and his decision to quit schooling. He also acquired the nickname Erap, a play on the Tagalog slang pair, meaning body, from his friend, fellow actor Fernando Poe, Jr. Personal life. Joseph Estrada is the first president to have previously worked in the entertainment industry, and for being the first to sport any sort of facial hair during his term, specifically his mustaches. Family. Estrada is married to former First Lady turned Senator Drive Luisa Loy Pimentel, whom he met while she was working at the National Center for Mental Health, NCMH, in Mandaluyong City, and has 3 children with her. Jose Jingo Ejercito, Jr., Mayor of San Juan, 1992 to 2001. Senator, 2004 to 2016, married to Presi Vitug, Jackie Ejercito, married to Beaver Lopez, Jude Ejercito, married to Dran Beleza. He also has 8 children from several extramarital relationships. With former actress Pichi Osorio. Joel Eduardo Jojo Ejercito, Teresita Techi Ejercito, with incumbent San Juan City Mayor Guy Gomez. Joseph Victor Ejercito. Mayor of San Juan, 2001 to 2010, Representative of San Juan City, 2010 to 2013, and Senator, 2013-present. Married to Cindy Lochuaco, with a former air hostess who was publicly known only by the name Lorena. Jason Ejercito, with former actress Larnie Enriquez. Jerica Ejercito, Juan Emilio Jake Ejercito, Jacob Ejercito, with former air hostess Joy Melendrez. Joma Ejercito. Other relatives. Several of Ejercito's relatives became prominent figures in politics and showbiz. Jorge Ejercito, George Estrigan, brother. Actor, E.R. Ejercito, George Estrigan Jr., son of George Estrigan and nephew. Actor, Mayor of Pagsanjan, Laguna, 2001 to 2010, and Governor of Laguna, 2010 to 2014. Gary Ejercito, Gary Estrada, nephew. actor and board member of Quezon Province. Gurumich Resido, nephew. Basketball player, film, main article, Joseph Estrada filmography. Estrada played the lead role in more than 100 movies, and produced more than 70 films. He was the first FAMAS Hall of Fame recipient for Best Actor, 1981, and also became a Hall of Fame award winner as a producer, 1983. He often played heroes of the lower classes, making him popular among several impoverished citizens. This proved advantageous to his political career. In 1974 Estrada founded the Movie Workers Welfare Foundation, MWFund, which helps filmmakers through medical reimbursements, hospitalization, surgery and death benefits, livelihood, and alternative income opportunities and housing. Its educational arm, the MWFund Film Institute, has produced some of the most skilled and respected producers, filmmakers, writers and performers in both the independent and mainstream sectors of the industry since its inception in 1979. He also founded, together with Guillermo de Vega, the first Metro Manila Film Festival in 1975. Early political career, Mayor of San Juan, Estrada entered politics in 1967, running for Mayor of San Juan, Metro Manila, then a municipality of Rizal, failing and only succeeding in 1969 after winning an electoral protest against Braulio Domingo. His administration was marked by unequaled accomplishments in infrastructure development. These included the establishment of the first municipal high school, the Agro Complex, a modern slaughterhouse, a sprawling government center with a post office, a mini park and the paving of 98% of the town's roads and alleys. As mayor, he paid particular attention to the elementary education of children by improving and renovating school buildings, constructing additional school structures, health centers, barangay halls and playgrounds in all the barangays and providing artesian wells to areas with low water supply. He relocated some 1,800 squatter families out of San Juan to Taytay, Rizal, at no cost. He was also the first mayor to computerize assessment of the real estate tax in the municipal assessor's office. When Corazon Aquino assumed the presidency in 1986, all elected officials of the local government were forcibly removed and replaced by appointed officers in charge, including Estrada. Senator of the Philippines, the following year, Estrada won a seat in the Senate under the Grand Alliance for Democracy, GAD, placing 16th in the elections, out of 24 winners. In 1987, he set his sights on a Senate run and handily garnered a seat. He was appointed chairman of the Committee on Public Works. He was vice chairman of the Committees on Health, Natural Resources and Ecology and Urban Planning. In the Senate, Estrada was credited with the passage of, among other major pieces of legislation, the bills on irrigation project and the protection and propagation of carbaos, the beast of burden in the rural areas. As a senator, he was one of the so-called Magnificent 12 Inches who voted to terminate the RP-US military bases agreement leading to the withdrawal of American servicemen from the Clark Air Base in Pampanga and the Subic Naval Base in Zambales. In 1989, the Free Press cited him as one of the 3 outstanding senators of the year. He was conferred the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa by the Baikal University in April 1997, and the University of Pangasinan in 1990. Vice Presidency, see also, Presidency of Fidel V. Ramos. In 1992, Joseph Estrada initially ran for president with Vicente Rivera, Jr. as his running mate, but he withdrew his bid and instead ran for vice president as the running mate of Eduardo Cojuangco, Jr. under the Nationalist People's Coalition. Though Cojuangco lost to former National Defense Secretary Fidel Ramos, Estrada won the vice presidency, garnering more votes than his closest opponent, Ramon Mitra, Jr.'s running mate, Marcelo Fernan. As vice president, Estrada was the chairman of President Ramos' Presidential Anti-Crime Commission, PACC. Estrada arrested criminal warlords and kidnapping syndicates. He resigned as chairman in 1997. In the same year Estrada, together with former President Corazon Aquino, Cardinal Jamie Zinn, Senator Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and other political leaders, led an anti-charter change rally brought in an estimated 500,000 people to Rizal Park against the charter change moves by Ramos and his supporters. Presidency, main article, Presidency of Joseph Estrada, Presidential styles of Joseph Ejercito Estrada, prior President COPNG, reference style His Excellency, spoken style Your Excellency, alternative style Mr. President Estrada was the first president to use a special name as his official address name, combining his real family name, Ejercito, with his screen name, thus forming Joseph Ejercito Estrada. Estrada was inaugurated on June 30, 1998 in the historical town of Malolos in Bulacan Province in paying tribute to the cradle of the First Philippine Republic. That afternoon the new president delivered his inaugural address at the Quirino Grandstand in Luneta. He assumed office amid the Asian financial crisis and with agricultural problems due to poor weather conditions, thereby slowing the economic growth to -0.6% in 1998 from a 5.2% in 1997. The economy recovered by 3.4% in 1999 and 4% in 2000. In 2000 he declared an all-out war against the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and captured its headquarters and other camps. However, allegations of corruption spawned a railroaded impeachment trial in the Senate courtesy of House Speaker Manuel Villar, and in 2001 Estrada was ousted from a coup after the trial was aborted. In his inaugural address, Estrada said, 100 years after COIT, 50 years after independence, 12 years after EDSA, and 7 years after the rejection of foreign bases, it is now the turn of the masses to experience liberation. We stand in the shadow of those who fought to make us free, free from foreign domination, free from domestic tyranny, free from superpower dictation, free from economic backwardness. Economy. By the end of Estrada's administration, debt supposedly reached P2.1 trillion in 1999. Domestic debt supposedly amounted to P986.7 billion while foreign debt stood at $52.2 billion US. The fiscal deficit had reportedly doubled to more than pages 100 billion from a low of pages 49 billion in 1998. 17. Despite such setbacks, the GDP by 1999 posted a 3.2% growth rate, up from a low of -0.5% in 1998. Moreover, domestic investment started to increase from 18.8% of GDP in 1999 to 21.2% of GDP in 2000. War against the MILF, main article, 2000 Philippine campaign against the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, main article, Battle of Camp Abubakar. During the Ramos administration a cessation of hostilities agreement was signed between the Philippine government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, MILF, in July 1997. This was continued by a series of peace talks and negotiations in Estrada administration. 3. The MILF, an Islamic group formed in 1977, seeks to be an independent Islamic state from the Philippines, and, despite the agreements, a sequence of terrorist attacks on the Philippine military and civilians still continued. These included the kidnapping of a foreign priest, namely Father Luciano Benedetti, the destruction by arson of Talayan, Magindanao's municipal hall, the takeover of the Coswagan municipal hall, the bombing of the Lady of Mediatrix boat at Ozamas City, and the takeover of the Narcisa Ramos Highway. By doing so, they inflicted severe damage on the country's image abroad, and scared much-needed investments away. For this reason, on March 21, 2000, Estrada declared an all-out war against the MILF. During the war the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, CBCP, asked Estrada to negotiate a ceasefire with MILF, but Estrada opposed the idea arguing that a ceasefire would cause more terrorist attacks. For the next 3 months of the war, Camp Abubakar, headquarters of the MILF, fell along with other 13 major camps and 43 minor camps, and then all of which became under control by the government. The MILF leader Hashim Salamat fled to Malaysia. The MILF later declared a jihad on the government. On July 10 of the same year, the president went to Manatino and raised the Philippine flag symbolizing victory. After the war the president said, "We'll speed up government efforts to bring genuine and lasting peace and development in Mindanao." In the middle of July the president ordered the military to arrest top MILF leaders. In his State of the Nation address, popularly called SONA, the president highlighted his vision for Mindanao. The first is to restore and maintain peace in Mindanao, because without peace, there can be no development. The second is to develop Mindanao, because without development, there can be no peace. The third is to continue seeking peace talks with the MILF within the framework of the Constitution, because a peace agreed upon in good faith is preferable to a peace enforced by force of arms. And the fourth is to continue with the implementation of the peace agreement between the government and the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF, because that is our commitment to our countrymen and to the international community. In addition to this, the President said his administration can move with more speed in transforming Mindanao into a progressive economic center. High on the list of priorities was the plight of MILF guerrillas who were tired of fighting and had no camps left to which to report. On October 5, 2000, the first massive surrender of 669 LCMILF Mujahideen led by the renegade Vice Mayor of Morogong, Lenao del Sur Malupandi Cosondi Serap and 7 other battalion commanders, surrendered to President Estrada at the 4th ID headquarters in Camp Adalberto Evangelista, BGY. Padug, Cagayan de Oro City. They were followed shortly by a second batch of 855 surrenderies led by Lost Command MILF Commander Sabin Imposo on December 29, 2000. Controversies, main article, Presidency of Joseph Estrada Section Controversies, Corruption Charges and Impeachment. President Estrada in 2000. In October 2000, Ilocos Sur Governor Luis Chavez Singson, a close friend of the president, alleged that he had personally given Estrada P400 million as payoff from Juteng, a grassroots-based numbers game, hidden in a bank account known as Jose Velarde, as well as P180 million from the government price subsidy for the tobacco farmers marketing cooperative after Estrada ordered a full-blown investigation into Chavez Singson's alleged misuse of millions of pesos in public funds. Singson's allegation caused controversy across the nation, which culminated in the House of Representatives filing of an impeachment case against Estrada on November 13, 2000. House Speaker Manny Villar fast-tracked the impeachment complaint. The impeachment suit was brought to the Senate and an impeachment court was formed, with Chief Justice Hilario Davide, Jr. as presiding officer. Estrada pleaded not guilty. This was the first time the Filipino public witnessed, through radio and television, an elected president stand in trial and face possible impeachment with full media coverage. During the trial, the prosecution presented witnesses and alleged evidences to the impeachment court regarding Estrada's alleged involvement in Juteng. The existence of secret bank accounts which he allegedly uses for receiving payoffs was also brought to the fore. In the 2004 Global Transparency Report, Estrada made into the list of the world's all-time most corrupt leaders in the world. He was listed 10th and he was said to have amassed between $78 million to $80 million. Also making it to the list from the Philippines is Ferdinand Marcos, who ended up second in the list as he was said to have embezzled between $5 billion to $10 billion during his 21 years as president from 1965 to 1986. EDSA 2, main article, EDSA Revolution of 2001, Protests. On the evening of January 16, 2001, the impeachment court voted not to open an envelope that was alleged to contain incriminating evidence against the president simply because it was not part of the impeachment complaint. The final vote was 11-10, in favor of keeping the envelope closed. The prosecution panel, of congressmen and lawyers, walked out of the impeachment court in protest of this vote. The 11 senators who voted not to open the envelope are known as the Craven 11. That night, anti-Estrada protesters gathered in front of the EDSA shrine at Epifanio de los Santos Avenue, not too far away from the site of the 1986 People Power Revolution that overthrew Ferdinand Marcos. On January 19, 2001, Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff Angelo Reyes, seeing the political upheaval throughout the country, decided to withdraw his support from the president and transfer his allegiance to the vice president, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Resignation. The following day, the Supreme Court declared that the seat of presidency was vacant, saying that Estrada had resigned his post. At noon, the Chief Justice swore in Gloria Macapagal Arroyo as President of the Philippines. Before Estrada's departure from Malacanang, he issued the following press release. At 12 o'clock noon today, Vice President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo took her oath as President of the Republic of the Philippines. While along with many other legal minds of our country, I have strong and serious doubts about the legality and constitutionality of her proclamation as president. I do not wish to be a factor that will prevent the restoration of unity and order in our civil society. It is for this reason that I now leave Malacanang Palace, the seat of the presidency of this country, for the sake of peace and in order to begin the healing process of our nation. I leave the palace of our people with gratitude for the opportunities given to me for service to our people. I will not shirk from any future challenges that may come ahead in the same service of our country. I call on all my supporters and followers to join me into promotion of a constructive national spirit of reconciliation and solidarity. May the Almighty bless our country and beloved people. Mabuhay. Post-presidency, Estrada returned to his old home in San Juan. He maintained that he never resigned, implying that Arroyo's government was illegitimate. The new government created a special court and charged him with plunder and had him arrested in April. Filipino supporters marched to the EDSA shrine demanding Estrada's release and his reinstatement as president but were dispersed by high-grade Turgas and warning shots from automatic rifles. On the morning of May 1, the protesters marched straight to Malacanang Palace. Violence erupted and the government declared a state of rebellion. Many Filipino protesters were badly injured and arrested, including politicians. The government called out the military and was able to quell the demonstration with Turgas and automatic rifles. The bloody uprising came to be known as EDSA 3. Estrada was initially detained at the Veterans Memorial Medical Center in Quezon City and then transferred to a military facility in Tanay, Rizal, but he was later transferred to a nearby vacation home, virtually in house arrest. Under Philippine law, plunder had a maximum penalty of death, however the death penalty was eventually repealed. Trial, main article, Trial of Joseph Estrada. On September 12, 2007, the Sandigan finally gave its decision, finding Estrada not guilty on his perjury case but guilty of plunder beyond reasonable doubt. He was sentenced to reclusion perpetua. He was thus the first Philippine president who was impeached and then convicted. On September 26, 2007, Joseph Estrada appealed by filing a 63-page motion for reconsideration of the Sandigan judgment penned by Teresita de Castro, submitting 5 legal grounds. Estrada alleged that the court erred when it convicted him by acquitting his alleged co-conspirators. Thank you for using voice text. You need to contact our sales support team to obtain a valid verification file. On October 5, 2007, the Sandigan Special Division ruled to have set for October 19, oral argument, instead of a defense reply, on Joseph Estrada's motion for reconsideration. Estrada asked for court permission to attend the hearing, since it ordered the prosecution to file comment before October 11. Perjury case. Estrada in 2012. The Sandigan Special Division, on June 27, 2008, ordered Estrada to file comment within 10 days, on the motion of the Ombudsman Special Prosecutor to reopen the trial of his perjury case regarding 1999 Statement of Assets, Liabilities and Net Worth, SALN. The court was also to resolve Banco de Oros, formerly Equitable PCI Bank, plea that it cannot determine without hazard to itself who to turn over to the P1.1 billion Jose Velarde assets due to claims by Wellex Group / William Gatchalian and a Bureau of Internal Revenue stay order. Pardon and release from detention. On October 22, 2007, Acting Justice Secretary Agnes de Vanadera stated that Joseph Estrada is seeking a full, free, and unconditional pardon from President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Estrada's lawyer Jose Flaminiano wrote Arroyo, "The time has come to end President Estrada's fight for justice and vindication before the courts. Today Monday, we filed a withdrawal of his motion for reconsideration." Estrada, 70, stressed the delicate condition of his mother and asking for pardon. On October 25, 2007, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo granted executive clemency to Joseph Estrada based on the recommendation by the Department of Justice, DOJ. Acting Executive Secretary and Press Secretary Ignacio Urbini quoted the signed order, "In view hereof and pursuant of the authority conferred upon me by the Constitution, I hereby grant executive clemency to Joseph H. Ejercito Estrada, convicted by the Sandigan of plunder and imposed a penalty of reclusion perpetua. He is hereby restored to his civil and political rights." Buni noted that Estrada committed in his application not to seek public office, and he would be free from his Tinay rest house on October 26, noon. On October 26, 2007, after almost 7 years of detention, Joseph Estrada was finally released after the Sandiganbayan promulgated the historical resolution. Estrada at the Malacanan Palace State Dining Room in July 2016. Activities. When Estrada was released, he gave a message to the Filipino people that he can once again help the lives of the people, especially the poor. He also stated that he made errors as a public servant, but he assured them that, notwithstanding his conviction for it, corruption was not one of them. After the release, he had a nationwide tour called Lakbay Pasasalamat, Thank You Tour, and during those trips he thanked the people for their support and gave them relief goods such as food, medicines and clothing. In politics, he stated that he was convincing leaders of the opposition to have unity, and that failing that, he would run. 2010 presidential election. Joseph Estrada stated in interviews that he would be willing to run for the opposition in the event that they are unable to unite behind a single candidate. Fr. Joaquin Bernas and Christian Monsad, members of the Constitutional Commission that drafted the 1987 Constitution, stated that the Constitution clearly prohibits any elected president from seeking a second term at any point in time. Romulo Macalintal, Election Counsel of President Oyo, clarified that the constitutional ban doesn't prevent Estrada from attaining the presidency in the event that he were to be elevated from the vice presidency, for example. However, Rufus Rodriguez, one of Estrada's lawyers, claims that the former president is within his rights to do so because the prohibition banning re-election only applies to the incumbent president. On October 22, 2009, former President Joseph Estrada announced that he would run again for president with Makati City Mayor Jojo Marbindi as his running mate. His senatorial lineup included Francisco Tatad, Juan Ponce Enrile, Jinggoy Estrada, Joey De Venecia and Miriam Defensor Santiago. However, he lost to Benigno Aquino III on election. Other activities. In 1972, Estrada starred in Blood Compact. In October 2010, the magazine Foreign Policy included Estrada in its list of 5 former head of states governments who did not make a positive difference in the world, but faded away into obscurity. Also included in the SPATX's list were Thailand's Thaksin Shinawatra, Spain's Jose Maria Aznar, and Germany's Gerhard Schroeder. Estrada announced in November 2010 that he will be selling his 3,000 square meter, 0.74 acre, home in San Juan, Metro Manila for nearly $7 million, 300 million Philippine pesos, to pursue his real estate business. Agence France Presse reported that Estrada has put up 2 high-rise residential condominium buildings and plans to build a third soon. 46. Mayor of Manila. Estrada, Center, back row, with members 10th City Council of Manila in July 13, 2016. Elected in 2013 as Mayor of Manila, he was re-elected again in 2016. In May 2012, Estrada announced his intention to run for Mayor of Manila in the 2013 elections to continue his political career. Around noon of May 14, 2013, the day after the conduct of the 2013 Philippine midterm elections, Estrada and his running mate in re-electionist Vice Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso were proclaimed Mayor-elect and Vice Mayor-elect, respectively by the City Board of Canvassers for the City of Manila. Thank you for watching the video. Click on subscribe to watch the next video.